Hello, fourth graders. Again, we are going to be continuing our discussions and learning in our division. Today's lesson is going to be relating multiplication to division using the place value method. Okay. All right, guys. So I know we talked about some key vocab in the first lesson. I actually just wanted to review those before we went ahead because I know I'll be using this language. So dividend means the whole number, or what are we starting with? What are we dividing? Divisor, how many are we dividing by? Or what are we dividing by? How many equal groups do I want? Quotient is the answer to our division problem, or how many are in each group we are dividing by. And then finally, the remainder. And the remainder is what is left over after dividing into equal groups. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at our next piece. And really, what we are going to be doing is looking at the area model that we once looked at with our multiplication. We're just going to be doing the opposite now. So if I had 3,915 and I am saying I'm dividing by 9. I know this might look a little challenging, but let me show you and break it down for you, especially because we are doing it in the place value way. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to figure out how many times does 9 go into 39. I am picking 39 because I know 9 does not go into 3. So my next number that I could pick is 39. So 9 goes into 39. If I count by 9s, I'm going to do this up here. It's 9, 18, 27, 36, 45. So that means it goes into it 1, 2, 3, 4 times without going over. But we can't just leave it like that. And I know these are not zeros back here, but this is still relating back to the numbers that we looked at in the last lesson. There are 2 digits behind the 39. And what I'm going to say is I'm going to put some zeros. So we could get close by saying 9 goes into 3,915 400 times. Let me show you what we do from there. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're actually going to do 400 times 9. So 4 times 9 is 36. And then I have 2 zeros behind it. And I'm going to subtract. 5 minus 0 is 5. 1 minus 0 is 1. 9 minus 6 is 3. 3 minus 3 is 0. What I'm going to do now is actually move this number, 315, and put it in this column. I'm going to do the same exact thing. Again, 9 does not go into 3, so I have to say 9 goes into 31. Looking at my numbers up here. So it goes into it 1, 2, 3 times without going over. Well, how many places do I have after the 31? Just one. So I need 1 0 up here. So 9 goes into 315 30 times. Now let's go ahead and do 30 times 9. Well, 3 times 9 is 27, and I have 1 0. So we're going to subtract. 5 minus 0 is 5. We cannot do 1 minus 7, so that turns into 11. This turns into a 2. 11 minus 7 is 4. 2 minus 2 is 0. What do you think, guys? Yep, I am going to put that 45 over here. Okay. Same thing. 9 goes into 45. And this one actually goes in evenly. So 9 goes into 45. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. 5 times 9 is 45. 45 minus 45 is 0. So now the last thing we have to do to figure out this answer is we have to add them all up. 400 plus 30 plus 5. So 9 goes into 3,915 435 times. Trust me, guys, we'll have to do a few more of this just so we are comfortable. So I will do a few more with you guys. All right, like I said, we'll do another one. This one I do have 4,576 divided by 8. Just like before, what we're going to do is we're going to see how many times does 8 go into 45. So counting by 8s, we have 8 goes into 45 without going over is 5 times. 8, oh, I'm sorry, and now we have to look at how many digits we have behind. So we have 2 digits behind. That means I have 2 zeros behind. Let's see how we did. 5 times 8 is 40. And then I have 2 zeros behind. Okay. Now let's subtract. 6 minus 0 is 6. 7 minus 0 is 7. 5 minus 0 is 5. Obviously, 4 minus 4 is 0. Take that number, 576, and move it up here. Now I want to figure out how many times does 8 go into 5 or 57. 57. 8 goes into 57 7 times. And then I have 1 digit behind, so I have 1 0. 8 times 7 is 56 with 1 0. Subtract. 6 minus 0 is 6. 7 minus 6 is 1. So we're good. Now I take that 16, moving it up here. Ask myself, how many times does 8 go into 16? 8 goes into 16 2 times. 2 times 8 is 16. Subtract. I have 0 left over. We're good. Now we have to do 500 plus 70 plus 2. 2, 7, 5. So let me kind of connect this back. If I had 4,576 divided by 8 would equal 5,072. Or sorry, 572. All right, we'll do another one, guys. Let's do it. How about right now? If I had let's go ahead and do 834 divided by 3. Okay? Now this one's a little bit different because we have such a small divisor. This number here are 3. We actually don't need to go to multi-digit and to find this answer. Let me explain. So I asked myself, does 3 go into 8? Yes, it does. So I'm only looking at the first digit. 3 goes into 8, actually 2 times. So how many digits behind? 2. Okay, so before we would normally underline the 2 first digits, the 8 and the 3, but since 3 goes into 8, we look at that first. Okay, so here we go. I have 2 times 3, which is 6. I have 2 zeros behind. So 200 times 3 is 600, and I subtract. 4, 3, 2. Take that number, move it on over. Okay, so now let's go ahead and look at this again. Does 3 go into 2? You would say no, because if I just say 3 times 1, that's already over 2. I have to go to my next digit. Does 3 go into 23? Absolutely. So let's figure out. 3 goes into 23 actually 7 times, because 3 times 7 is 21. I almost forgot, guys. I have 1 digit behind, so I need to have 1 0. So let's go back. 3 times 7 is 21, and I have 1 0 behind. We have to subtract. 4 minus 0 is 4. 3 minus 1 is 2. 2 minus 2 is 0. So take this number, put it over here. Okay? Same thing. Does 3 go into 2? No. So does 3 go into 24? Yes. 3 goes into 24 8 times. And it's 8 times 3 is actually 24. 24 minus 24 is 0. Let's add these up. We have 200 plus 70 plus 8. 8, 7, 2. So again, whoops, sorry, my pen fell. To kind of go back and to see what this means, it's saying 834 divided by 3 is 278. Let's go ahead and put 1 on for you, and then you could pause it and see how you did. All right, so we'll look at 944 divided by 4. So you go ahead and pause your screen now so you have some time to do this one. And then when you press play, you'll see that it's up and answered. All right, so here you go. I'm looking at how many times does 4 go into 9 first? And since it does, then I do not have to go to my second digit. 4 goes into 9 2 times. I have 2 digits behind, so I have 2 zeros. I then do 2 times 4 is 8 with 2 zeros behind. 4, 4, 1. Take that number, put it over here. Okay. Does 4 go into 1? No, so I need to do 4 goes into 14 3 times. 3 times 4 is 12. Sorry guys, I did it again with 1 0 behind. So 3 times 4 is 12 with the 0, so it's 120. 4 minus 2 is 2. 1 minus 1 is 0. Move that number over. Okay. Does 4 go into 2? No. 4 goes into 24. Yes. 4 goes into 24 6 times. 6 times 4 is 24. 0 left over. So let's add them up. 200 plus 30 plus 6. 236. Well, hopefully you guys got that. That should be it for today's lesson. We will be looking at long division with multi-step here coming shortly. So this is just one method to figure out division with multi-digit and relating it to the area model. If you have any questions, obviously please jot those down while you're watching this video. So when we get to class tomorrow, you guys could go ahead and ask those. If not, I look forward to seeing your success in the classroom. Have a good night.